Well, I think I first met him as just some handsome cowboy that walked into the office that was in a band, and I think he was doing Folly Moon at that point.
I first met Brian Lau. He was the one that pioneered Muncie Grawl. In the summer jams, they had like Leonard Skinner.
He had just kind of moved back here and was feeling out the music scene.
This is the first In the Summer jam that they did, and they needed help setting up the stage, so Brian was out recruiting all the young, hungry musicians who wanted to find a way to get involved. So he said, hey, I need help setting up the stage this Saturday for the In the Summer jam. You want to come down and help? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. And that was really when I got started doing like the idea of volunteering in your community. Oh, I met Cheryl through Brian. She was the assistant over at Downtown Development.
It's probably a Rib Fest that was the first thing we did together. And then as we've moved along, he's been totally involved in Muncie Graw and Muncie Music Fest, and really anything that we do downtown that involves music. FM Music and Docs has been a huge part of.
Part of our plan was always to work with Downtown Development because they were the ones really pushing downtown forward.
Mike has a whole different approach than most people. He realizes that what he gives benefits.
We started looking at, okay, what are we doing now? Well, we're trying to now focus the Muncie music, so let's focus on the Muncie scene. And one of the things we discovered was there was heavy metal, bluegrass, funk, hip hop, hard rock, jam bands, country. There was all this stuff in Muncie. It creates very much a scene, especially in a college town, and that's where we saw the potential was there.
All the events that we do are marketing tools for us to kind of help, one, bring attention, but two, it also helps to distill some perceptions. It was really kind of a scary place for a long time just because it was very abandoned. We only had about 20% occupancy on Walnut Street. Everything else was empty.
There was only Docs and the Hurrah. There wasn't Blue Bottle was in the village. There was no Fickle Peach. There was no Savages. Muncie as a community has obviously had to take a serious evaluation of where we're at and try to say what can we do different. Local music has been one of the main driving forces of really helping the community have something to unite behind.
What Muncie needed at that point were dollars. Mike came in and really started concentrating on student population. We were able to then add that to the base that we already had.
We knew that Ball State's resources were definitely a huge asset to what we're doing, especially getting the students involved, giving them some sense of ownership and pride in Muncie.
Students were getting their information in such a different way, but mainly it was through word of mouth of people who they trusted, who were their peers. And so it was really just trying to figure out who had a passion for downtown, who had good ideas, and who other students listened to. And so we had just this beautiful, energetic group of Ball State students that loved downtown and were willing to help us spread the message.
I see Muncie as the Austin, Texas, or the Asheville, North Carolina of the Midwest. This beautiful little artistic music mecca just nestled away that people don't expect, and it is working. Even though it's hard.
I would never laugh at Mike when he says he wants this to be like Austin of the Midwest. That is so doable when you have somebody that truly believes in that.